important and timely discourse. Nigeria is often referred to as the giant of Africa. Without a doubt, we are blessed with so many natural and human resources. Sadly, we are faced with numerous challenges. In the midst of all these challenges, the youth are largely undermined in governance and in policy-making structures. Even though they make up 60% of our national population, this generation of youth are making so much progress in Nigeria at large. Out of nothing, they have been able to do and develop our economy. Without connection of friendly business environment, no bank support, unfriendly business environment has been very, very tough. Our youth, our energetic youth, have been able to enhance and create wealth for themselves. The entire tech startup sector in Nigeria is worth over $1 billion, while creative industry is over $100 million. Out of nothing, they were able to grow our GDP with over 30%. Mr. Governor, in the last 4 years of his administration, has done so well in upskilling and empowering our youth. Investing so much in Edo youth and sustaining his investment in Edo. We can't thank you enough, Mr. Governor, for your investment and for creating this powerful and amazing platform in the last 4 years. A platform that gives us, young people, to discuss issues that affect us directly. The topic for today is transitioning from youth-centered to youth-driven governance. To have this powerful conversation, we have a panel of very distinguished and intelligent young persons from the public and private sectors. They are going to be sharing with us their own perspective on today's topic of discussion. And I'm going to be starting with Abosede. Abosede, I've been working with so many young women. Abosede, you quickly introduce yourself briefly and tell us what you do. I know you've been doing a lot in area of women empowerment. How can these women, okay, let me allow you, okay, can you do that?
Okay.
Okay.
You hear me? I mean, I think the speaker, so Your Excellency, allow me stand on all existing protocol. It is an extreme honor to be here. I think she did a great introduction, but right now, as she mentioned, I'm on a new mission to increase women's political representation in Nigeria.
Okay. So, I'm going to praise Uda. Uda, I've been doing a lot around budget tracking. So, Uda, you quickly tell us what you do and how can we bring young people to join what you're doing for the country, for them to have the necessary apparatus and the mechanism to monitor projects being executed by government.
Okay, good morning all, Your Excellency. My name is Wadame Ilevaoje. I'm the head of Tracker. Tracker is a platform that allows citizens to track public projects in their community and they give feedback to the government and the general public. Tracker was established to address critical issues surrounding social and economic development. Because over the years, we live in a country where citizens don't really understand how public projects works. So our work is to sensitize residents at the local communities to build their capacity to take ownership of public projects. So we operate in two forms. We have the offline engagement and the online engagement. So the offline engagement, this has to entail by us going to local communities to engage young people to tell them about the budget provision. Because in most cases, people at the local, the grassroots, they don't even know how these projects are being funded. They have the mindset that when they see a project in their community, They believe that those that are elected into public offices are the ones using their money to finance this project. That is why we have a lot of abandoned projects across Nigeria. So our work is to engage them, build their capacity, that they also have a part to play, so they can take ownership of those projects. Then we also have the online platform where we share updates on projects we track. This will prepare citizens to take action, call out the respective executive and responsible authorities that are involved with those projects, so that they should ensure that these projects are being delivered. So far, Tracker platform, we started from 6 states. Today, we are in 32 states, and we have a team of 36 tracking officers, and we have over 5,000 community champions. These are active citizens who want development in their community. So they do their civic right to follow up with projects, they engage the respective representative, and to ensure that these projects are being delivered. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to focus on Hero. Hero is an entrepreneur, and we're all aware most entrepreneurs are not even interested in coming into the driver's seat of government. So Hero, how will you be engaging young people in your shoe as an entrepreneur to be part of the governance?
Thank you very much, Isimame. Good morning, everyone. I would like to please stand on existing protocols, as earlier asked. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've managed to start up about 4 successful businesses in the last 10 years. And I think that I will not be able to answer that question without reiterating the importance of the role of SMEs, which is mostly driven by young people in the economy. So for example, today in Nigeria, 48% of our national GDP is contributed by SMEs. SMEs also account for about 96% of businesses and 84% of employment is created by SMEs. So if you recognize that SMEs are extremely critical to your nation's development, and SMEs presently are being driven by young people, it's tough to say that as a business person or as an entrepreneur, you will not be part of governance or with government, even if you're not in government. So I wouldn't say that I'm not interested in being in government. I'm interested in being part of government in terms of policy development, policy implementation, and basically economic teams and driving solutions that can be effective and help governance be responsive to citizens' needs. I mean, if I take Edo State for an example, certainly the governor has done fantastic, and I just want to thank Governor Obaseki and his team for driving the sort of vision that he has driven in the last 4 years. I never would have imagined that Edo State would become industrialized, and we're gradually seeing that happening. Presently today, I'm working with Ukunebo. Yes, I think that deserves a round of applause. Today, I'm working with Ukunebo to set up a cosmetic manufacturing plant in Edo State. I would never have imagined that 4 or 5 years ago. In December, I was speaking in front of the governor of Akwa Ibom State under the PEBEC platform. And I challenged him and I said, sir, we're getting to a point where states are becoming competitive for businesses. It's not business as usual. Young people are looking for where they will thrive because we're entrepreneurial by nature. We're passionate, we're creative, we're innovative. We've been brought up in a digital age and we're bringing that to bear. We're also developing SMEs and businesses that are socially enterprise focused. So we're seeing businesses that are coming in with a social focus of either the climate or environment or training or human capacity development, or mass production like you and I discussed earlier. So if you don't begin to compete as a governor to ensure that the young people in your state are given a platform where they can thrive in terms of their entrepreneurial spirit, then your state is going to be left behind. And I'm proud to say that from Edo State, we're seeing that happening, but there's still more that can be done. And I'm leaving some call to action, maybe further on during the conversation, for both the young people as well as the governor and his team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Udo. Now, we're going to take Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel, we want to know the common mistakes young people make. What are the common mistakes they make, and how can they rectify those mistakes before coming into government? The common mistakes they make, please.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, my name is Honorable Daniel Alaghodaro. I'm the Minority Leader of the Nigerian Parliament, Edo South Central District Representative. And it happens I happen to be the first principal officer in Edo State since the establishment of the Parliament in 2008 by then President Musa Yar'Adua. And I happen to be the only principal officer in the whole of South, and it is in Godwin Obaseki's administration. Please a round of applause for the governor. So far in the Nigerian Youth Parliament, I've been involved in a lot of youth activities, programs. I've equally been able to travel to about 13 countries in the world, where I happen to equally...
You have to... Okay, yeah. We can't hear you.
Okay. I happen to have traveled to about 13 countries in the world. In last year, 2019, I was in Rwanda, where I spoke during the African Youth Connect. We're in the same stage with the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, on the Get Child Day. And with all of this, after then I was in UAE for the urbanization, for the UN urbanization. So far so good. You recognize that recently the government has recognized the power of youth. The government has recognized the power of youth. During this NSAS protest, it has shown to the world that the youth are ready to be engaged, and the government of Godwin Obaseki has recognized that and has started engaging
Mr. Daniel. So my question is, what are the common mistakes these young people make?
Now, the first
I'm talking about the common mistake they make in trying to want their voice to be heard. So what are the common mistakes they make?
First of all, constructive engagement. That is a major challenge. Constructive engagement due to mentorship. So that's the most common mistakes they make. First of all, you must understand the situation before you start attacking that same situation. And a clear example of that is just the NSAS protest, engagement. So that's major.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wadiale, Honorable Wadiale. Now back to Abosede. Abosede, you've been working with women to have. You've been working with women to give them a voice in politics, in governance. So what have you been doing, and what can you advise? We have a lot of young women among here. What would be your advice for these young women?
So thank you very much. So the interesting thing is that women and young people often fall into a category as minority groups, and there's no significant difference oftentimes when we look at governance. So if you're looking at parliament or the executive or the legislature, oftentimes where there's a lack of young women, then there's a lack of young people as well.
Okay. Can you please narrow your answer to the youth now?
Yes.
Now you've been working with women.
Yes.
So how can these youths?
Exactly. So that's why I made that point, to say that whatever it is that we're doing with women actually applies to young people, right? Because they fall into the same category of minority groups. So what can young people do? And I know eventually we'll have an opportunity to say, what can the government do? But I think that what's very interesting about the Edo State example is you already have an enabling environment. That's oftentimes sort of the foundation. Because if you do not have an enabling environment, you cannot even start to engage, like Daniel said, or to do all the other things. So what can we do? We're in a moment in time where nobody can convince any young person in this room that they are the leaders of the future. We've gone past that. You are the future, you are the leader of the now. It is your moment. So when you have a moment, what do? You seize the moment and you take opportunity. So that's the first thing. But then how do we move from a moment to a movement? And I think that we saw it in Nigeria recently, that youth have capacity to come together, to organize, to mobilize, using technology as the driver and the enabler for that, right? But I think for sustainability, what I would really like to leave with the young people today is, how do we move from, remember I started from a moment to a movement, but now to a machine. And I did not say to a machinery, but to a machine, to a well-oiled machine. Think about machines and what they do. Machines do work, and machines do work that transform. And so in terms of the specifics, I'm happy to get into it, and I do have like 4 key points for the government. But I would just like the young people in this room to start to think, how do I seize opportunity in this moment? How do we mobilize? How do we organize? As a movement, there is power in numbers. We've seen it, we know it, we have it. That's the unique thing about Nigeria. But ultimately, how do we become a well-oiled machine that nobody can ignore?
Thank you, Abosede. Post-election brief by Mr. Governor is to engage more young people in his cabinet. So now, how do we engage young people in order for them to take the driver's seats? We need them to come on board, but we need empowered, we need trained youths to come on board. We need youths who have the capacity. It's not just to say, I want to be part of this government, but we need to have youths that have capacity. So how do we bring these youths, in order for us to close the gaps, how do we bring these youths on board so that they can contribute effectively?
Thank you very much. So I was going to borrow the 4E approach that Electa has. So Electa has a 4E approach where we say we need to engage, encourage, equip, and enable. So the first one around engagement, this is exactly what we're doing here today. Creating the space and the platform where we can have intergenerational dialogue, but also dialogue between people in power and the young people, so that they know that we're listening, we're paying attention, and we're interested in them coming on board. So that's the first thing. The second one around encouragement. Also, what we're doing here is part of encouragement, but I'll tell you what it is. We have to be deliberate and intentional if we want young people to get in the driver's seat. So what is one of my recommendations? We need to create an internship program, and I know that Uki and the team do an amazing job with that on the job side. But when you want young people to come into governance, so as you said, His Excellency already has a program, or wants people. Now do an internship program where young people, there is no reason why special assistants, special advisors should not be young people. Let us have a fellowship program, for example, where young people apply, because they must be competent and they must be capable, right? They apply and come through. And from that, pipeline, you continue to build them. So that's the second thing. The third one is around equipping young people. Now, when you talk about research and policy, these are things that young people like to do naturally. When they're on their phone, going from one Instagram account to another, whether you like it or not, the skill that they're applying, which is research, can be applied into doing actual research and policy. And then the other piece will be around data analysis. As they say, data is the new oil. So the question is, how are we equipping young people with these critical skill areas that can really help in governance? The final piece will be around, things like campaign and media management. Very critical. I was listening to something yesterday that in America, do you know that Biden hardly ever met his campaign manager? Everything was organized online because of COVID. So how do you begin to do media and campaign in a new world? Very interesting skill areas that we should start to upskill our young people in. And then the final piece around enablement. Again, Edo Jobs is doing some part of that. We need to fund young people, and that's what Iro was saying. We need to put our money where our mouth is by funding young people. Election in this country is not cheap, so whatever it is that we can do to influence the funding and creating a support network for young people, then I think that will go a long way.
Thank you, Abosede. I'm going to direct my next question to Uda. Uda, you've been doing a lot in project monitoring. Now, we are starting a new government. How do we bring in the youth beyond just staying at the back seat? We want to take them to the driver's seat in budget monitoring, in project monitoring. So what will be your suggestion?
So thank you very much. For us to have a better state, the budget must be open, the government must be transparent, because they said for the process, first of all, if you want to bring in youth on board, this, like Edo State's budget is online. you can assess it. I think the local government is the closest to people at the grassroots. So I think I also use this avenue to also beg the governor if he can appeal to local government chairmen. They should also open their books because of charities begins at home. So if I should want to track the budget, let me start from my local government. We have 18 local governments in Edo State, and these are people that they live in local communities. Young people live in local communities. They find it very difficult to come down to Benin. So I think their local government is the closest place to them. So they should start from their local government. At least they should go to their local government to know what projects are they going to implement in my community. So the budget is not supposed to be a secret document. The budget is supposed to be a document that will be in the public place. Everybody should have access to it. So if local government budget can be made public, it is very easy for young people to go to local government council to say, okay, let me look at the project in my community. Because we live in a system where citizen needs are not captured in the budget. We live in a country where there's a very low level of citizen participation in the budgeting process. And these are the setbacks, these are the things that cause underdevelopment in our local communities. If you look at our federal legislators now, 75% of projects they nominate into the budget, these are empowerment. And the word empowerment is a thing that will just meet your immediate needs that does not have a long solution. You see a lot of keke nape, a lot of hair drying machine, a lot of all these things. And on the long run, if you look at the distribution process, these things are being channeled to maybe a party member or this. But I would advise to see institutions where capital projects like building of schools, building of health centers, building of roads and water projects will be captured in the budget. Why do we have all this? Because there is a very big disconnect between the people and those that are elected into office. So if we want inclusive development in our society, I think the youth should carry along right from the implementation stage of the budget and also the monetary stage. And I also advise they should also do an hackathon where they can come up with ideas to train youth that are willing to track projects, or they can also use our own platform. We have a community platform that you can enroll on, and you report projects and you can also follow up with projects. So these are the only way I feel the government can assist the youth so that they will have inclusive participation in the budget, and this will also bring an effective service delivery in local communities.
Okay, thank you very much. Our youth can take their time to study the mega agenda. You can go online, take your time and study the mega agenda. Iro is planning to do a lot with Edo State. And how will you go about implementing your plan as a young person in Edo State outside working with Edo jobs?
So I think that if you look at the way business is done in Nigeria, there's a significant separation between business owners and the government, and it shouldn't really be, because there should be a collaborative partnership. I live in River State, and I run businesses in River State, and I know that I'm doing it on my own. I am not doing it, I don't think that the governor probably even recognizes the impact that my business makes, even if it's employing 100 young people, feeding maybe 200 families. I don't think that it's being recognized. And if coming into Edo State, there must be that sort of bridge where you're a business owner, and because we recognize that the output of your business will drive the agenda of the government. So the government that is responsive to its citizens is looking at, empowering them. And the government does not create jobs. The private sector creates jobs. So the government's job is to literally just make the environment enabling so that there can be more improved private sector participation that would help them achieve their own agenda. So if you don't create that bridge, a platform, so you're setting up an economic team, and I'm saying that SMEs are driving GDP in your state or in your country. How many young people are in your economic team? I'm talking about decision making. So I hear you on cabinet formation and having young people, but they're going to execute a plan. I want to be part of that plan. I want to be part of saying that I'm running businesses here, I'm investing money, I'm attracting investments into the state as a private sector individual. And I would like to see what's the blueprint for ensuring that my investment is going to be secure, it's going to be effective, it's going to yield the desired results, and where the government can hear me I can bring my technology knowledge to bear, I can bring my innovation, I can bring my unbridled passion, I can bring my commitment, my energy, my vibrancy as a young person to that table, and you can take it away. And then you can go, and then your cabinet can begin to execute this blueprint that we've all come together and put. So, and just to also speak to, as a young person, value system is extremely important. So I mentioned social enterprise. We're a developing nation. And unfortunately, every business, I feel and I think that every business that you go into should have an element of social enterprise in it. It's not just CSR, corporate social responsibility, but you're saying that I'm doing this business and I'm looking at the SDGs and I'm saying, how is my business going to help address these goals and attain them through the fact that I exist as a business? And I want to give that to the young people who are here today to say, don't go into business for profit. Go into business with purpose. Go into business with a very defined set of values that are giving back to your community, and you're not just saying, give me a handout, I want a hand up as well. So that's to the young people in terms of, so that's what I will be bringing, that's how I will be executing my business mentor. I'm sorry, thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's not just for us to have this conversation, we start coming up with a document. So we're going to put up a document, a working document, and submit to Mr. Governor after this event. But one of the call to action is mentorship. We want to identify young people in this hall, and I'm very sure that we have youth across the 192 wards present in this hall. So those who are interested in politics, you want to go into politics, but we don't want you to just go into politics without the right information. There's a desk out there where you can put down your name so that we can attach you to the proper mentor and the proper mentorship. Then for those who are also interested in entrepreneurship development, you can also put down your name outside. There's a desk outside where you can put down your name. At this point, we need to give us the last word before we close for the day. So we take Abosede, please.
Thank you very much. So I just wanted to remind us where we started. We started with young people and we will end with young people. Again, the time is now. If not you, then who? Nobody is coming to save us. And that's something that I hope that you have realized. And then again, because we are in Edo State, which has again an enabling environment, I just wanted to kind of echo Iro to say government needs to leverage strategic partnerships, and I know it's already doing that. But there is a lot of value when we have multi-sectoral partnerships because of the potential for scale and the potential for scope. So we should be having committees or whatever it is with private sector, public sector, civil society, ensure that women are at the table because the research shows that women have a redistributive agenda. And when you have more women, not just women benefit, but everyone benefits.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Could you have less than a second because we need to take photo from the others.
Thank you very much. For me, I think what it really needs is mentorship. The House of Assembly has to create a more like a routine internship where young people can come as volunteer, learn how illustrative duties are being carried out for the House of Assembly. For that of the executives, for that of the executives, equally the governor has to create a structure where young people can volunteer and see how things are being done. I know Edo Jobs is equally has been doing something like that. It's something that I know that if we have that, it will really encourage young people to be part of government.
Thank you,
thank
Mr.
you.
Daniel. Your last word, please.
Thank you. So for the young people in the room, I'd like to say, believe in yourself. Like I said, there's no better way to find yourself than to lose yourself in the service of others. Let your business or your entrepreneurial opportunity be one that is paying it forward and is contributing. So for the young people here, and for the government, I'm saying, we're here, it's our time, we're ready, we're capable. Bring us on board your teams, bring us on board your cabinets, bring us on board, engage us, let there be more truthful, honest, effective engagement that is going to transform to results. You'll be surprised, on Twitter, the young smart minds, I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to get this opportunity again, the young smart minds are saying, I will develop platforms for free for the government that would improve efficiency. Let's take advantage of that. Let's tap into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Last word, please.
Okay, thank you. So I believe that the transition of Edo State is in the hands of the young people.
Sure.
So let's have this mindset of, let's make sure that we ensure that we engage our elected representative, ask questions, demand service delivery in local communities, and we ensure that the public funds works for the good of the people. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Key points we need to take home: internship, mentorship, project monitoring is key for us to be at the driver's seat of this government. At this point, I want to say a very big thank you to all our panelists. Thank you very much, Bose. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much, Iro. And Udawa, thank you so much. Thank you, Edo State. Thank you, our youth.
Our very first initiative is having medical school in Nigeria, specifically at the University of Benin Medical School, transitioning learn online.
Thank you. Can we put our hands together one more time for the panelists? That was an explosive one, Your Excellency. But permit me, Your Excellency, to quickly, before we move to the next item, recognize the presence of the Deputy Governor who is already here. Can we put our hands together for Honorable Philip Shaibu, who is a youth and is still playing and scoring goals for the vendor insurance. And because this government believes so much in young people, a lot of investments have been made in sports development in the state, the remodeling of the Samuel Ogbonudia Stadium, and the building and construction of several mini stadia across the state testifies to that. Today we are privileged to have in our midst the chairman Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick. Can we put our hands together for him? I'm sure you are aware that the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are presently in those states, Benin City to be precise. So we want to say, Your Excellency, I want to also quickly recognize the presence of the Honorable Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly. Your Excellency is here, Honorable Marcus Onobo. Can we put our hands together? Secretary to Government, thank you very much for coming. Is the video ready now? Okay, so we want to bring the very energetic Deputy Governor upstage to once again stir up the spirit of the youth. A very
It's putting me in campaign mode again. Your Excellency, my senior brother and boss, the Governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki. The youngest speaker in Nigeria, the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Marcus Onobu. I think he deserves a round of applause. My twin brother, the Secretary to Edo State Government, that is not a youth. He said it's not a youth, but it's youth at heart. Barrister Osarodion Oge. The digital chairman of the ruling party in Edo State, the People's Democratic Party, Right Honorable Tony, the Chief of Staff, another youngest Chief of Staff in Nigeria, Chief of Staff to Edo State Government, and the convener of this program, one of the youngest also in Nigeria, Uki. The head of service, I think is also one of the youngest head of service in Nigeria. So you can see it's youngest we are dealing with in Edo State. Not oldest. Mr. Governor, I want to stand on already established protocols so that I can just move on. Great Edo youth. The youth are not here. Greatest Edo youth. Of the greatest Edo youth. You are here. Now I know you are here. Listening to the panel just now, I'm sure you took a lot of notes. One of them said we are minority. I don't think we are minority. Is the youth of Nigeria minority? We are not minority. If what happened recently can happen, are we still minority? We are now a voice in the country, and we are ready to take leadership. Common mistakes of the Nigerian youth, relating it to NSAS. Plenty of mistakes. Good intention, but plenty of mistakes. During the military, I was one of them. I was tear gas. I was arrested, brutalized. I had my appendix operation in Guswa prison as a result of torture by El Mustafa and his men. I was arrested in Yaba and I ended up in Guswa prison in Zamfara. For what? While some youths were in Abuja doing 20 million man march for Abacha, I was in Yaba with Ganifa Amebeko Rasonkuti saying Abacha must go, anti-Abacha in Yaba. And we were arrested. And I ended up, for a long journey, I ended up in Guswa prison. There's one in cell, there's what they call J5 sitting. Over 50 of us in one cell. When we want to sleep, this is how we sleep, just watch. They call it J5 sitting. All of you have to sit. You do your leg like this, the next one will come. Then when you are tired, you open your leg, the other one will sit like this, you just sit like that. That is how, when you want to sleep, you just sleep on yourself all through the night. That is how you sleep. That's what we call J5 sleeping in cell. I went through that several times in different cells in Nigeria. I was tear gas. And I learned how to inhale tear gas without being choked. And I learned how to return tear gas to the police when they threw it. That was what we did during the military. That time, we protest, we barricade, and we don't have leaders. But in a democratic system, you must have leaders. That was the mistake of the NSAS. You must have leaders in a democratic setting because these people are being elected by the people. Whether you voted for them or not, when they win, they become our leaders and they are democratically elected. So when you have grievances, you have a right to protest. But that protest, you must have leadership so that your demand, when it's time to listen to your demand, those leadership must come up for discussion so that those demands can be met. But when you say you don't have leadership, what happened the last time will continue to happen, because hoodlums will take advantage of it and create an environment of insecurity. I'm sure some of us that were part of the answers are being affected. We are also calling for the police to return, to come and protect us. Now, but the truth is, what were we protesting for? Police brutality. Right, good. And truly, it was wrong. Most of the things those guys were doing, wrong. But now, your demands have been accepted. Now, you need to call off. You didn't know when to call off this protest. And that is what has created the problem we have today. That's one of the mistakes. But the good news is that we are ready to now air our voice. And our voice is being heard loud and clear. That is the good news. And that makes us the majority, not the minority again, because our voice is loud and it must always be heard. What do you intend to be in life? Have you been able to discover your destiny, your potentials? Have you been able to discover God's talent in you? Are you just there? You just wake up and just go to church and believe that miracle will meet you at home? Let me tell you, work without miracle, miracle without work is not possible. Prayers without work is no prayers. So some of us that are religious, you can only make that move for that prayer to be an additional push for you to actualize your dream. If you are not able to identify God's potential in you, pray from now till next year, nothing will happen. Because the prayer is just a push to actualizing that effort you have made. So you must make an effort. But before you make that effort, discover your talent. What do you hope to do? What is that God's deposited talent in you? When you discover it, you don't need government. You don't need government if you discover your talent. You don't need them. Government, the way Mr. Godwin Obaseki is defining governance in Edo, is what government should do. Government is just an enabler. Government is just a supervisor. Government is just to create an environment for your potentials to be driven by you. But can you drive that potential when you don't even know it? We are in the era of technology. Are you that young man that take advantage of God's gift in you to know how to maneuver and use technology to defraud people? Or are you that young man that you are taking advantage of God's talent in you in using technology to create your own apps that will become the next Bill Gates of our time? Are you adding value to the era of technology? Are you taking advantage of Edo State government investment in making sure we network the entire state with broadband? Are you taking advantage of it? Are you now having a digital economy? Are you driving your business from your home? Are you being patronized because you have used your intellect to create an app that I need to take advantage of to be able to sell my products? Is that what you are doing? Or you are just there looking for, is it almost something they call her just that? Looking for her to hack into her account and defraud her? Is that what you are doing? Is that adding value to the system? So when we say we are youth, we are actually youth, but are you the youth that is ready to be useful to yourself, your environment, and to the society? If you are that youth, then you are adding value to your state and you are adding value to the country. That youth needs government assistance. So that youth must be supported by government. If I listen to the panel clearly, That is what they are telling us, that you must be able to come up with your own idea of what business will look like. And I want to say something. I may be very unpopular among youth. I'm very unpopular at the beginning in my constituency that I represented when I was in the State House of Assembly. When they come to me, they say, please take us to Ossiomo. We want to be SSA. And I said, none of you will be SSA. None of you will be SA. And who are these guys coming to meet me? He just finished from the university and just completed his youth service. And his first job for him is to be SSA. And what is SSA? Senior Special Assistant. At the end of the day, no portfolio. You will just be staying under the mango tree, doing nothing, destroying your life. Just earning 150,000, doing nothing. Very unproductive. Is that what you want to contribute to your life or to government? And I tell them, how many of you are ready to be trained in different fields to be self-employed and to be able to employ others? Out of 50 of them, only 5 are ready. And I took the 5 and I said, we will fund you. And I funded them. Some of those 5 ended up employing some of these guys that were looking for SSA. In fact, 2 of them were SSA. But when the government ended, they did not get opportunity to be SSA. And the young man, one of the young men that took advantage of that entrepreneurship program employed that SSA into his own business. What I'm saying so is that a lot of us seated here are looking forward to be in the next government. I want to be SA, I want to be SSA, I want to special advisors. Fine. For you to be a special advisor on budgeting, you just listen to that young man. You must have an idea of what budgeting is all about. You must just have an idea. If you don't have an idea, what are you advising? What are you advising when you don't have an idea of what the portfolio you are handling? Advisor means you are a major in what you are advising on. Senior special assistant on job creation. What job have you created? What job have you created? How many programs have you even attended on job creation? Are you even interested in creating jobs? Do you even believe in creating jobs? So, my young men and women, we have a date with history. Our voice is loud and clear now. Let's take advantage of the opportunity that the state government is giving us. There is always an opportunity when things are going wrong. Not only when things are right. I only like to use the word, if they said there is ability in disability. For me, there is an advantage. There is always an opportunity when you think things are bad. That thing is bad, there's a business opportunity to make it right. So I want to thank all of you for listening to me. And by the grace of God, together, we will have a state and a country that will not only listen to the youth, but youth that are ready to take leadership and take leadership in a positive direction, add their own value, and at the end of the day, we have a society that is really an egalitarian society. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Only we, Edo people, can solve our Edo problems. Is that not so? Is it only youth that mantra is that nobody can do it for us. Only we, Edo people, can solve our Edo problems. Is that not so? Is it not the youth that will solve the problem of the youth? Is it not you that will work with me to create jobs for you? God bless you.
For the last 4 years, the Executive Governor of Edo State, His Excellency, Governor Gordon Obaseki, has left our mouths wide open in his words as he champions a wave of revolutionary change across the lands and blacks of Edo State that never been seen before. In his unique style, he has remained committed to his mission of building a modern and progressive Edo State where every citizen is empowered with the opportunity to live life to its fullest. His keen interest in the growth and development of youth in the state speaks volume about his passion for legacy. Through programs like technical and vocational education, entrepreneurship and skill development, Vision Hub, hundreds of other youths have been greatly empowered and given the golden opportunity of becoming CEOs, wealth creators, and beacons of hope for the Edo so desire.
This stuff coming to being is mind-blowing, and I can't wait to see new amazing projects come to Benin City, more openings, more A-list actors being produced in Benin City. I believe because there's a lot of talent here, we just need to harness them and then showcase them to the world.
I always loved Governor Obaseki. I know he's a very, very, very bright man. I'm so happy. He has my 100% support.
The impact of 4 years of good governance can last a lifetime when it goes beyond giving us good roads and infrastructure to giving us the capacity that makes us unstoppable. Clarion call to all Edo youth. His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki and His Excellency Comrade Philip Shaibu are great leaders who have placed great faith and investment in the youth of Edo. The question is this: are we ready to partner, collaborate, and engage with government in a way that drives forward the agenda to make Edo great again? Rise up, young leaders, and take your rightful place. Because this is the time, Edo is the place, and you are the one that will make Edo great again.
Asked us who we are, who we are, who we are, who we are. So they asked us who we are, and we told them we are a bloodline flowing from 1,000 heroes, kings, queens of the Edo Kingdom. We are generation on generation, generating hope like lightning streaming through a dark cloud, pulsating through the air. So call us the heartbeats. Beating rhythms of our youth, showing to this world that we are futuristic in our thinking. And yes, our prosperity and successes date back to the foundation of the earth, so call us ancient. Yet we marry the past, present, and future together in a seamless fabric, running them across our lands. to our spectators that these hands are what make the beauty called Edo State. Young and vibrant men. And our dance moves, we dance through difficult times into brighter days. See, yes, we dance. See, these hands are the carvers of fine food and molders and benders of bronze, casting every doubt aside, letting them know that we, the youth, are a unified voice of hope for our people. See, we are reformers and transformers, transforming what was once dead, giving life to breathe again. See, we are a collective tribe of warriors. We war against poverty and history. And we share every breath from the rocks of to the fertile lands of Issachar, warn there in Igiehon, and Alaghodaro. Our success goes beyond tribe now. Our heritage standing tall, towering high, as we wear on our heads the crowns of the sky, sea, our pride shown in our city hills and houses. So next time they ask you who you are, you tell them, Alaghodaro. For we don't stop, we keep moving, support, beyond the beyond. For we are together, collectively, the ones that make Edo teach. We are together, mega, making Edo great again.
Alaghodaro. We are together, making Edo great again. Put your hands together for that dynamic youth. Thank you. Permit me to recognize the presence of the mother of all of the youths in Edo State, the First Lady of Edo State. Your Excellency, we are very, very happy to have you. Welcome. Your Excellency, there are various groups, youth groups here today. I'd like to quickly mention that our very special go-getters, the returnees from Libya and some African countries and even Europe, they are here. Can we celebrate these go-getters? Please, if you are here, can you rise and let's recognize you? Yes, they are. Thank you. Go-getters. Okay, I can see some of them here, Your Excellency. Put your hands together for these special ones. We also have here youths living with disabilities. In fact, let me rephrase that. Youths living with abilities. Can we put our hands together for them? Some of them came here today very early with special, even wheelchairs, crutches and all that. Some were carried here, Your Excellency. They are not just giving up. We also have GOSG group. Can we put our hands together? We have OSN. OSN, are you here? The National Youth Council of Nigeria, they are here. Your Excellency, we welcome them. And permit me to say, though this is not a political party affair, but about all of our youths, irrespective of the political parties they belong, Your Excellency, we have here the PDP state youth leader, and of course, all the local government youth leaders of the PDP. Are they here? Yes, they are here. His Destiny, we welcome you. Permitting at this juncture to bring on board the lady behind Edo Jobs, and of course, oh my God.
Executive Governor of Edo State, Your Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki, Your Excellency the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Comrade Philip Shaibu, please allow me to stand on existing protocol and thank everybody for being here today. We're going straight to a very interesting part of this event. Now, nobody is unaware. I believe nobody in this room and those watching online and those at the overflow area, nobody is unaware of all the things that have happened in Edo State in the past 1-2 years. And Your Excellency, as we began to plan this summit, young people everywhere, messages, calls, all sorts of advocacy. We want to pick his brain. We want to talk to him. We want to gist with him, sir, because you have inspired young people. And Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, have inspired young people. That's why we said this summit, we want to hear from your heart. How many of us were so amazed by what the Deputy Governor said here today and actually sat down on our stage? Let's put our hands together for ourselves. He won't only do that for the youth, he won't do that for anyone else. So, today we're about to go into what we call the Fireside chat with His Excellency, and we have cast our net wide to get young people from different spheres and different people. From different spheres and questions for Mr. Godwin Obaseki. They want to hear from him, they want to learn from him, and I'm sure everybody wants to hear what he has to say about the burning issues on our hearts. So, without much ado, I'll invite the discussants who will be having the chat with His Excellency, and we will invite His Excellency on stage. So the first person I'll be inviting is the spoken word poet who just gave his rendition. His name is Mr. Philip Asaya. Please let's put our hands together for him. If you watch African Magic, then you definitely know him as Kali, the bad boy on that show. And the interesting thing is that show came to Edo State thanks to the hard work of somebody who is also here today, Mr. Victor Agawa. Please let's just put our hands together for him. We have that show, the African Magic show running, and we have Edo youth employed, and it's a very fantastic opportunity that we're grateful that Edo John was able to partner with them. So the second person I'll be inviting on stage is an entrepreneur. She's a doctor, and I call her Zetsu Natural because that's the name of her business. Please, let's put our hands together for her. She's going to be asking His Excellency questions from her perspective as somebody who is interested in medicine, mental health, and as an entrepreneur. We also have with us, please, how many of you heard about Paystack that sold about a month ago for $200 million? Just imagine what will happen to those young men, young Nigerians. And in those states, we are producing our own version. Please, your own has to be $1 billion. So let's put our hands together for the co-founder of Dollar Pay and Edo Cash. So we have a tech, so take his number now, you don't know. And then we have another young entrepreneur. She's into skills development as well. She was an Edo jobber, she started her business, and now she's teaching other people. Please welcome Mrs. Queen. So we have different sectors represented here, but there is one that is very close to His Excellency's heart, and they are also very much interested in speaking to him. We have Dr. Ose, who is a farming consultant. Please let's put our hands together for him. All right. Okay, I will need...
All right, please, I want us to please rise up to our feet as we welcome our exciting, inspiring, fantastic,
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to stand on existing protocols. I'm so glad to be here. I can say the same for my fellow colleagues. We were on the table there and we're talking about how exciting it is to be sitting here with you, finally opening our mouths to ask questions, and we actually asked ourselves, if we were to be with God, and God says, ask something now and I'll do it for you, what will you do? And so we've been puzzling ourselves all this while. We have to ask the question. We all know very well that there's one thing that has been a problem and a burden to most of us, the youth, is the fact that a very large percent of us have lost faith totally, almost lost faith in the government. But we found a leader like you who came up to give us hope. Like we said, your re-election, most people who clamored behind you were not politicians. They were the average people. And it showed that you were one who resonated in the hearts of the common man. And so I'll start with my first question. And it's to you, sir. Understanding very well, sir, that you're someone that the Nigerian youths can mirror and want to become. We understand that there's a lack in mentorship when it comes to the young ones, the youth. We don't find mentors in leadership anymore. But with someone like you being able to canvass the people who are not even politicians, it's obvious that we can mirror you. Do you have any plan to see how this form of leadership can, be replicated in our youths going forward in the future? Because obviously, if we have more leaders, it becomes easy for good governance to work well. Sir.
Thank you very, very much. Great use of Edo State. Great. Thank you very much. The starting point for all of us, we must understand that there is a design of the Nigerian state. That the design we have or we are operating today is one we inherited a long time ago from the British, where it was the colonial masters and the rest of us. 60 years on, we still have not fundamentally changed that design. And that is why you have this large level of alienation. And that's why you've had that disconnect between government and the people. And that's why we're talking about re-emphasizing mentorship. Because mentoring should be a natural process. It's like when you live with your parents in the family, you live with your uncles, your parents, you look up to them in terms of what they do. They ask questions of you and try and correct you and direct you in the way you should go. But if there is a disconnect in that family, then you would not have that relationship to benefit from the older ones who know what to do in the family. That seems to epitomize and explain the Nigerian state. And so for us in the last 4 years, it has been, how do you open up government? How do you redesign government so that the people in government begin to understand they are not there for themselves. They are there for the people of the state. That when they call you a public servant, you are actually meant to serve the public, not yourself and your family. So that redesign is what we are working on. And if you think back, even from our empire days, even from the Benin Empire days, there was a design for government that benefited everybody in the community and the society. We have to return to that if we are going to make Nigeria the country it should be. Specifically, mentoring will naturally come when government is open. When government has systems to attract the right people into government to work for the people. Not when only those who have special privileges and advantages can have access to government and the treasury. So once that redesign is done, then you'll find out that the process of reaching out to everybody, reaching out particularly to the young ones, opening up their minds, because mentoring takes two forms. It's about explaining things to people, but also behaving in a way they look up to understand what to do. So it's work in progress, and I have said by the time we begin to constitute the next government, it is going to be very, very different from where we're coming from. The good thing about young people and working with young people, they are not afraid to try. They are not afraid to fail. So we want to bring a lot more of them into government, because you have to build a whole class of leadership. What we have now is very thin, right? I can provide leadership, I can provide mentorship. Members of my executive will be able to do that. But how many are we? That needs to be replicated across the board, because you have leaders across the board. We want to develop leaders at the state, local governments, and private businesses, and in your wards, in your units. Every community, every aspect of life produces its own sets of leaders. And once we expand that base, then we'll expand the basis for mentorship.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Speaking of some of the things you've been doing, I know Dr. Khadijat, who is in the public health sector. I know you have some questions for him. We're already pausing on that one already.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. There's been an establishment of the Edo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency to enforce standards and regulate the operations. Now my question is, in tackling communicable diseases, how do you tend to key in the youth in changing the narrative of the reduced visits to primary healthcare centers with simultaneous reduction in the burden in secondary and tertiary healthcare institutions? That's my question, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Khadija. What we found in Edo and in most parts of the country is that when you talk about healthcare, the first thing people do is, where's the hospital? They equate healthcare to hospitals and hospital buildings. They don't realize that healthcare is a system. And yes, it should be fiscally represented by a building, but it has more to do with people. The people who run the system and the people who benefit from the system, or people who have to use the system. So what we have done in Edo is basically to just follow the simple logic that in designing a healthcare system, you have to take the system to the people. The people do not live in the capital. The people live in their communities, in their local governments. So why must I put all the money for healthcare in one hospital in the city center? That does not address the challenge of healthcare across the state. That's why primary healthcare is the basis for any healthcare system. Every community should have a facility where when you are ill, you can go and get checked. In fact, the goal is that you should have a facility at most 5 miles from where you reside. And so what, in designing our primary healthcare system, we say, what are the problems we had in the past? We have almost 400 or so primary healthcare centers, in quotes, in Edo State. The state will build. In fact, we have a case in court now where the Algon, the Association of Local Government local government officials, awarded a contract of 61 billion to a company about 20 years ago to build primary healthcare centers across the country. Guess what? So federal government will build primary healthcare center, states will build, local governments will build, legislators will build, NGOs will build, and at the end of the day, nobody has a complete record of what has been built and who is coordinating. As far as that building has been put in place and somebody's made their money from the contract, you have a primary healthcare center. They're usually not connected to the community. They don't have lights. They don't have water. How can a woman go to a center to deliver and they only have torchlights to take care of her? And that's the situation we found. So the new design is that we started with the pilot, the first 20 for each local government to test it. Now we've expanded to about 60, and our hope is that we should get to about 250 in the next 1.5 years, where every ward in Edo State, at a minimum, has one primary healthcare center. It's standard. There must be solar to provide 24-hour electricity. There must be water. There must be security. It has to have a basic minimum, and we've costed it. At best, each one will cost us 50 million. But what is most important are the community health workers and the nurses and the technology, so that any time you go into any of our primary healthcare centers, we know you have been there because we already have your records. Whoever is attending it to you that day will have taken your vitals and put in the system. And we can see all that information in the portal, the back end. Just as I can see all the information of all the children in our primary schools in Edo State, all the teachers, whether they've come to school that day or not, I can see all of that in a portal on the back end. That technology is available. So it's about training the people. We can spend all the billions of naira establishing these centers, but if we do not train the people and continue to train and monitor them, and then services will not be delivered.
Please put your hands together for our governor. If you like what is happening, please put your hands together. Make it louder, please. Louder, please. Wow. Wow. You are truly a leader. It can't be in any doubt. We've heard what you have for health. My brother, Dr. Osainde, I know you have another one for agriculture. This man has he has something for you, sir. If it comes hard, so you go hard with him too.
Wow. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and good morning, everybody. Your Excellency, from your mega agenda, it is obvious that you have a robust plan for the agricultural sector. And you agree with me that Edo State has a comparative advantage in crop production and fishery. We have fertile soil. And the youth actually makes up the largest proportion of the state population. How are we, or what are we as a government doing to engage these youths in agriculture? What are we as a government doing to make agriculture more profitable and attractive? Because one of the challenges we've discovered is that our youths don't find agriculture attractive. And most of them think that it's not very profitable. Like you see somebody try to go into agriculture, erase beds, or try to invest 20,000 naira in poultry production. At the end, he can't make profit. You see people pricing a cheap price. Like this Christmas, for example, there's a challenge. The feed millers are finding it difficult to produce feeds. Many persons are finding it difficult to buy feed, and the cost of inputs is very high. Now, the reason we asked some questions, and some of the feed millers told us they don't have maize. They didn't see maize to buy because the border is closed. And Edo State has this advantage. And I think we the youth, we are energetic, and they are not seeing this area of agriculture attractive. So what are we doing as a government to really make this sector attractive, more profitable, and also engage the youth?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you have heard, agriculture is my passion. You see, agriculture is business. And when you begin to think and treat agriculture as if it's a social service, we get into the kind of problems we've gotten into in Nigeria. And in any business, a couple of driving factors. First, it's about profits. If you're not going to make money or you're not making money, you will not invest. Second, it's about risk. So if the environment, which as it has always been, you said something about maize, right? If we have a system that always relies on imports, right? Then there's something wrong. It means that the imports are cheaper. That means we have to do something to make our own local production competitive. Millers are looking for maize because they are not used to buying maize grown locally. They are used to buying maize imported. So to answer your question specifically, in the business of agriculture, first we have to, as government, know that government is not a farmer and can never make money farming. The people who are farming are taking risks. So as government, the first thing you should do if you want to help them is try and reduce the risk that they are taking, right? One of them is usually even the land, the risk of the land they are farming on. Do they own it? Do they have infrastructure to that location? You see people say, you go to the market sometimes, you say, madam, why is this plantain so high? You say, we don't forget motor, bring this food come from farm, from village to the market. Because the roads are not there. The transporters will charge what they need to charge to keep their fleet operational. What about inputs? What about the knowledge? You used to have extension workers who go from village to village, from farm to farm, to meet farmers and advise them and help them and show them what to do so that their yields can be high and they can make money. But most importantly, what about offtake? If I grow 5,000 birds today who will buy from me? And at what price will they buy? So rather than government trying to raise money to get into the business of agriculture, you have to understand the value chain. You have to understand the risks these people face, farmers face. Remove the risks as much as you can, or reduce them. And you see more people will go in because they can make more money. So, like I said, what we are doing in Edo State is to try and de-risk those aspects of agriculture that used to hinder people from farming. Make agriculture attractive by removing the risks. If land preparation is your problem, we have prepared over 10,000 hectares of land in different parts of the state. Come and rent from us. I'm not dashing you because you won't give me your profit. And for those farms, we've put infrastructure. We will help you with inputs. We've gone to Central Bank. We have taken money from Central Bank for Anchor Borrower. We've taken money from for CATS, the Commercial Agricultural Credit Facilities. We took 5 billion. As I speak, we've not spent 3 billion of that 5 billion. Because we're looking for real farmers, people who are serious, people who are already doing something, to give them money. But the way we've operated in this country is as if government money is free. Once you just talk about an agri program, everybody rushes there to take the money and they move on. So we will continue to work hard, identify real farmers, remove the risks for them or reduce the risks, and make farming and agriculture a lot more productive and profitable.
Thank you. Reducing the risk. Reducing the risk.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, Your Excellency. So I'm going to talk straight from the tech sector. Your Excellency, you've been actively involved in developing tech talents in the states through the Edo Innovates and the Edo Job and other programs. So over the years, these talents have actually been developed, and we have the skills here. Products have been made locally. We have built products in fintech, in e-commerce, in waste management, and all of that. So going forward, sir, how do you intend to engage these talents that you have helped develop in terms of patronage and otherwise? Yes.
Thank you. You have done, what you are saying is that we have done our own bits. We are developing software, but we want markets for the software. And that should really be the responsibility. Well, that should be one of the responsibilities of government, to help you create markets. And we've started. This event, even though it's not intentional, is one way to. One of the good sides to COVID is that because our interactions are now limited, you cannot move as you used to do. You cannot go out and do the things you used to do the way you've got to look for alternatives. So the embracing technology in the next few years is going to be at a much higher pace than it has been before. Government should be at the forefront. So we said, fine, because of COVID, because of the security situation and the NSAS protests, let's moderate this year's events. Let a lot more people use technology to interact and participate in our events. As government, we are retooling how government operates. And I'm hoping that before the end of my last term, you will not have physical files in Edo government service. You will have what we are designing and what we're going to call e-government. Yes, it's Edo government, but it's also electronic government. And once we participate in the ecosystem, we spend close to 100 billion naira a year buying goods and services and paying people. If all of that is related to technology somewhat, then that space would have been created for people like you to sell your products. So we have started. You are lucky that you are in one of the growth areas post-COVID, and I want to let you know that because of the investments we have already made as a government, Edo State today, Benin City, and some other cities are already connected with bandwidth, with fiber. We have over 400 kilometers of fiber running around Edo State. We are the only state in this country that is that connected. So the basic infrastructure is there. What you need for technology is fiber connection and electricity. And we are working on both. So you will find out that your businesses will be viable because you have a market and you have the infrastructure.
Thank you so much, sir. Edo State is futuristic. We're having a futuristic leader.
Good morning, Your Excellency. As an entrepreneur, I've trained over 500 youths on cosmetology in partnership with Edo Jobs. So I want to ask, sir, are there plans or future plans in engaging these youths? On these skills you have empowered them with, in terms of patronizing made in Edo products?
That's a very, very good question. How do we help you create markets for your products, particularly those ones we cannot buy directly? We have to first create an enabling environment for you. Yes, we've created some enabling environment for you to produce. How do we now create the environment for you to sell to more people? There are aspects of that we control as a state, and there are parts of it we don't control because we live within a federation. To the extent that our trade policies do not favor imports and continue to support imports, we have a large enough domestic market where the things we produce can be consumed. One advantage of COVID, which I hope we take as a country, is that because we are not likely to be earning as much as we used to earn from crude petroleum, our penchant to import, that habit of designing our trade and exchange rate policies to favor imported items will now diminish because we just don't have the money to import again. We have to learn to use what we produce locally. If you produce your black soap and we're able to brand it and explain that it is much better, it's more organic than the foreign brands we bring in, so that more of our people use what we make, then these small businesses that you are supporting will grow. So we as a state will continue to work to create that environment for you to continue to produce. We pray that the situation continues so that at the federal level, they begin to understand that Abuja is not Nigeria. That we have to design our trade policies and our exchange rate policies to support local activities of Nigerians across this country. So don't worry, there's a silver lining. We can see a very bright future. Even if they want to import, they don't have the money to import again. We will continue to encourage you, make sure that we give you the basic infrastructure. Because what has been limiting you? Ability to get constant electricity. So the cost of paying for diesel and all the other associated infrastructure just makes your business unprofitable. That we will continue to provide from our production centers and industrial parks so that you can go into those places and have the advantages other people in other parts of the world have that gives them the ability to come and sell goods cheaper in our country than you do. And I hope that by the time we are voting for the next president in 2023, the issues will now be how do you regulate trade policies? How do you determine exchange rates? Because these things are what will affect my own business. Not just tell me, I will give you this, I will give you that, I will give you food. No, we will have hopefully progressed our democracy in that direction.
Thank you, Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I will have to ask this question. I will not be very, very okay if I don't ask this question. The entertainment industry is a very booming industry. I was talking to some of my colleagues. In the year 2018, 2 movies in America from Marvel Comics, that was Black Panther and Infinity Wars, made a total of over $3 billion US. $3 billion US. That's over 1 trillion naira in profit. 2 movies. Just 2 movies. It's a very robust sector, and it also influences culture. Here in Benin, we have so many talented people, but in the end, what they do is that they move away. They don't stay. They move away and then they become leaders in other states. I know there are some things you're already doing, but some people may not know. Can you elaborate and then let us know what you're doing for the entertainment sector? Actors, singers, sculptors, artists.
I'm are in a better position to answer that question than I. Because, like you said, you're currently taking advantage of the opportunities we're creating in the entertainment and the art and culture space. We are blessed. We have talent. We have very innovative and creative people in Edo. In fact, being Edo means being cultural and being very, very creative. Most of the museums in the world today have pieces of art from Edo. So art is innate in us. But we haven't, as a government, given the right impetus, the right support, and the right encouragement to people in the arts and entertainment industry. Yes, Nollywood has done well, Nollywood has grown. Yes, there's been a lot of initiatives and productions going on. But Edo has not, in the past, taken its fair share. So what we are doing under the Jobs Creation Agency is to now, just like we have done by creating production hubs, we are now creating entertainment hubs. I just signed off, and I'm sure sometime this afternoon, we'll be signing or launching a program with the GIZ of Germany, where I think for about $500,000, we are working with them. We've provided the sites, we've provided infrastructure, we've provided the electricity, and we're building an entertainment hub with studios, with production centers, with sets, so that we can remove the costs for entertainers, for producers, for directors to produce their work. We are working on a very major project which will be unveiled during the main Alaghodaro event on Friday, and that has to do with arts and culture. So Art is our heritage. Art is in us. Entertainment is part of us. We can make money from entertainment. And the Edo State government in the next 4 years is going to put in as much resources as it can garner to creating the enabling environment for artists, for entertainers to come and do their work and produce their pieces of work in Edo State.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So I heard you had a question for us. You guys you see what you've cost. Now he has a question.
Okay, so it's my time to ask questions to the panelists. I'll start with Dr. Hadiza.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Okay, you're in the healthcare space. You are training people. You have succeeded as a young person in Edo State despite all odds. You also have had the privilege of working with a lot of young people. Why are you not able to replicate yourself in these kids? Let me not even say, are you able to replicate yourself in these younger people? And if you are to rate young people today, how would you say, what makes you different? Or do you think I will see so many more like you in the next 4 years?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. To answer your question, yes, sir, I've been able to replicate what I've been doing in persons. Firstly, I started immediately after house job in 2015. I was able to put some funding together via moon sighting. And initially I registered my company 2013. I had the dream and I wanted the name. I didn't want the name to be taken by some other person. So that was the first step. Second step was I was able to put money together. I started out as a retail company, just buying and selling makeup products while I was almost finishing with my house job. But the mistake I made was immediately I had some money, about 400 to 500,000 naira. The first thing was I need a fine, beautiful office space. Painted the colors, looked so nice because I wanted to be called CEO of Blue Kogo Enterprise. And it flopped. It just went down and I had to start all over. And that was because I lacked the knowledge of business in itself. So I had to go back. And fast forward, I was able to key into the Edo jobs, and that was when I had opportunities of attending programs that I'll have to travel to Lagos and pay thousands of naira for, from business funding to goal setting and so much more. So I was able to key in, and then I had to start all over again. Went for a training online and as well as in Lagos. I came back to Benin, replicated it, and I got an office space at Edo Jobs. That was about 10,000 naira. Okay. So,
with support from government, you were able to bounce back.
Yes.
After having failed the first time.
Yes, I saw the opportunity and I didn't set back. I grabbed it. Okay.
So you're saying young people, when you will start, there will be challenges. You may fail, but the fact that you have failed does not mean that you are a failure. You can always bounce back.
Yes.
Fantastic. You have been in your consulting space. What is that one thing, one mistake that you feel has been made in the area of agriculture? That one thing, if you were going to ask me to do as governor for agriculture, what is that one thing?
Thank you very much. One major area that I feel the government are not doing their bit. You said you have a robust plan for agriculture. That's true. There is failure in monitoring. I've always said Nigerians have a lot of ideas. You see the federal government doing a lot when it comes to agriculture. Now, they don't monitor the implementation of these projects. And also, the real farmers are not being identified. They don't reach out to them. And that's why I'm happy that the governor is not just a politician, he's a technocrat. Now, beforehand, you see, when incentives come, you see it goes down to politicians. And when you get down to the hands of politicians, you start calling ward members, registered ward members, to give them these grants. They don't really get to the farmers. I want, the major challenge, like I pointed out, is monitoring. Because you have done a lot for agriculture. The colleges of agriculture have been set up for the first time. The governor have set up colleges of agriculture in the Tiri senatorial district. That's a lot. And the state has a lot to benefit from these colleges.
Okay, so we as government should pull back from just throwing money. We should spend more of our resources trying to understand what people are doing, trying to have data, yes, and monitor. And it's only from our monitoring should we now know how to intervene.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. You are you're an SME, you're a small business, and most young people start with small businesses. And the government, both federal, local, we've been shouting small business, we've been putting money into small business. Small business has been screaming that we don't receive all the incentives. From your own personal experience, what is that one thing, one area as a small business person do you feel government should attend to? Yes, you have several issues, but there's one main one that if you fix can now affect all the others. What is that one thing for small businesses?
Thank you, Your Excellency. One of the major challenges is in the area of this government regulatory bodies, such as NAFDAC and SON. A lot of small businesses are finding it very difficult to get certification from NAFDAC and SON. During the 2018 Alaghodaro Summit, when we had this exhibition, so I was told by one of the officials of NAFDAC that if I do not get my business registered and they see any of my products being displayed in any of the major supermarkets, malls or stores, that the products will be confiscated and I might likely face a jail term of 2 years or pay a fine of 2 million naira. I was actually scared. I actually felt like withdrawing and not coming out to produce anything anymore. Well, if that area can actually be addressed and government can come in by way of creating policies that will be favorable to SME, I think a lot of things can actually happen because there are so many businesses out there and the knowledge, but a lot of people are just, shying away. I don't want to face the government.
So the biggest challenge you have is government regulatory agencies.
Yes.
That whatever government has regulated that affects your business, government should also put in place a mechanism to help you meet the requirements of that regulation.
Of course, sir. Yes,
okay.
Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, technology, the future is yours. You heard my comments and what I thought will be the mega agenda, and you can see the role of technology. The fear people have always expressed is that when a young man has a laptop, it seems that they make more money doing Yahoo with it than learning to code or to program. How can we change that incentive, switch the incentive around, so that more young people see the opportunities in actually, in the opportunities in the businesses that technology provides, rather than in the crime that technology leads you into.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. First of all, I will not allow this moment to go by without first extending my gratitude to you, because I'm one of the beneficiaries of the Edo Startup Fund. It's under the Edo Social Investment Program. So, yes, Your Excellency, to answer to your question, sir, one of the things that we need to understand is that technology itself is just an enabler. There are real problems that surround us as people. How did we get to where we are today? First was to identify the challenge of financial inclusion in our rural areas where we came from. For example, in Ibilo, where I come from, you actually have to travel to Kogi State to conduct or to carry out a transaction of just 5,000 naira just because you want to buy foodstuff around you. So what did we do? We just created a system where we can now create agents on our platform. So by doing that, we are the first and the only fintech company in the entire South-South, the indigenous fintech in the entire South-South. So we created that avenue for people to be able to carry out those transactions. Then today, we now launched our own mobile money wallet system where we can now create that ecosystem. So the first thing is for us to be able to identify the real problems, the problems in terms of waste management and waste disposal, in terms of transportation, talk about providing tech solutions for transportation, then in terms of financial inclusion, providing fintech solutions for driving financial inclusion. So it's for us to identify the real problems, then now look for solutions to those problems. That itself, creating solutions and adding value to the society, actually bring more value and more wealth.
Thank you. You've just made a valid point. But if you think about how government operates today, there is very little thinking within government, or little understanding of technology within government. So the technology space is one of those very typical spaces where you are doing your own thing, and we in government do not even understand what you are doing. So what I'm hearing you say is there is a whole ecosystem, there's a whole world out there. Don't you think that more younger people should come into government to help the thinking? Because if I don't know what you're doing, how can I help you? So maybe the takeaway is that people like you must now come in and assist within government in designing policies, in designing the framework that will make the services people like you are offering to be viable. So that partnership is key. So my last question is, there's so much talk about entertainment, Nollywood, in fact there's so much hype. But I have not seen a rich, wealthy entertainer. There's the razzmatazz around them, but most of the time they cannot even change their cars. How do we make sure or structure the entertainment space so that the people who keep that in the going can make real money and sustain themselves?
Good. Thank you so much, sir. Entertainment, yes, is lacking structure. It's lacking structure, from finance to how they carry out, how they spend the money also. We're lacking structure. But beautiful thing is, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. They're already doing it in the developed world. What we need to do is go there, see how it's done, and bring it down here and replicate. One of such company that has, to a very large extent, done so much for the entertainment industry in Nigeria is Mnet from South Africa. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We have other big international companies like Netflix already here. We have HBU already here. They have all this program around to help entertainers stand on their feet. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. What we need to do is just see how it's done there and bring it here. Now what government can help us do is to create that enabling environment for these guys to come here. Or also, you request that they come and have meetings with them in Edo State, and then they can establish here. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. So you've heard in our side chat, you've seen what brilliant young people are doing in Edo State, from medicine, from healthcare, to agriculture, to small businesses, to technology, and even in the entertainment industry. The message is, government is set up to help the people, in this case, Edo State. Government does not exist for itself. Government exists for all of you. And because over 67% of the people who live in Edo State are under the age of 35, it follows that they must be the priority of our government. Because you are in the majority. So whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in agriculture, in technology, in entertainment, small businesses, in retail, our emphasis in the next 4 years, if we have to make Edo great again, is you, the young people of Edo State. And we're not going to do it by giving you handouts. We are not going to do it by expanding government and letting everybody to become an SA or an SSA in government. It's the wrong way to do it. We are going to do it by making sure that government is efficient and accountable to you. That the taxes we raise from you is judiciously spent to provide the environment you need to do the things you need to do. That notion of government, that having voted your governor, everybody must now come into government so that they can get their own share from the treasury, is an ancient idea. The reason why you young people came out to vote for us is because you want us to create a better life for you. And the only way we can do that is that we have to have a working relationship. I don't have all the solutions. We don't have all the solutions to your problems. The solutions to actually come from you. What we will do is to open up government so that you can be heard. To open up government so that you can reach us. And the fastest and most efficient way to do it is to use technology. I am sure listening to us today must be thousands of people. If we wanted to put thousands of people in this room, we will not, find any hall in Edo to take the number of people who are currently watching and listening to us. So on that note, I want to thank you and to let you know that if Edo is going to be great again, then it is you, the young people of Edo State, that must make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We come to the end of our fire chats. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Please go ahead and put your hands together. Please give His Excellency a standing ovation for stand up. Stand up.
Thank you. Please, Your Excellency, the first panel will take a photograph with you. I hope I'm not asking for too much. Please, Your Excellency, can you come up and also, okay. Yes, you can play that music again. Stand up for the champion. Stand up. Thank you, Your Excellency, who is looking very youthful, energetic today. Can we celebrate His Excellency, Mr. Governor, one more time? Thank you. I particularly took something wonderful away from all of that discussion, that he voted for your governor doesn't mean that everybody must be SSA or SA. But the government will provide and create, where possible, the enabling environment for everybody to thrive. And that's a very good one. Now, Your Excellency, permits me to recognize the presence of the man that is saddled with this responsibility of creating wealth and having that ministry in Edo State, the Ministry of Wealth Creation. Can we recognize the presence of Felix Akabre, Honorable? Can we put our hands together for him? Your Excellency, it might interest you to know today that because this is Edo Youth Summit, all of Edo people, the youths are here. I just observe now that the youths of APC in Edo State, they are also here, youth leaders of APC. Can we put our hands together for them? Yes, please stand for it. Yes. Welcome. A PDP chieftain, Honorable Pascal Ogome, Esquire, will recognize your presence very especially. Pascal Ogome, thank you for coming. Now we are moving straight now to the Edo Jobbers are also here. Edo Jobbers, are you here? I can't hear you. Your Excellency, we now move straight to the flag off proper, and we will be seeing the flag off of the Jobs Internship and Apprenticeship Scheme, and of course we also will be witnessing the flag off of the Jobs Leather Works program for returnees and youths living with disabilities. Youths living with abilities. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, let me recognize my mommy, the First Lady of Edo State, and the Secretary to the State Government, the Head of Service, all of that protocols observed. Today, in line with our tradition at every Youth Summit, many of us are aware this is the fourth Edo Youth Summit. Please put your hands together for the youth of Edo State and Edo State government. In line with our tradition, today we are going to be flagging up two programs. Now, these programs, the first one is the fourth edition of the Edo Jobs Internship and Apprenticeship Scheme. On this scheme, employers get staff given to them by Edo Jobs, and their salaries are paid for a couple of months. What this does is that The company is getting increased manpower, which is important now because so many organizations lost capacity to pay salaries because of COVID. So they're getting manpower and somebody else is bearing the cost. The candidate is learning. And from every single stream of the Edo Jobs Internship and Apprenticeship Scheme, we've had over 70% retention rate where the companies end up employing the interns full-time. So this time, the German government and GIZ came together to say that they are going to support the next phase, which we are flagging up today, with 450 interns that will be sent out to organizations. The process was advertised online, people applied, and the companies have also applied for their interns. Interns have done their interviews last week, and we have some of them here today. Now, the Leatherworks program is another Edo Jobs program that GIZ is also supporting and will be flagging off today. And the beneficiaries of that program are here. We have 50 people who are returnees that will benefit from that program, and the other 50 are youth living with disabilities who will be learning the range of leatherworks from shoe manufacturing, bags, belts, cards, whatever leather can make, they'll be learning how to make it, and these are being supported. The Edo State government is being supported by GIZ. So we have a goodwill message from a representative of GIZ who is in charge of this program. For 1 minute, please, can we play the video so that we can go ahead? Can we have the sound, please? Can we have the sound, please? Can we have the sound, please? Can we have the sound, please?
The beneficiaries, 15 beneficiaries.
Your Excellency, these are the beneficiaries. I'd like to invite His Excellency, in fact, please, I'd like to invite everybody on this table, the Executive Governor, the Deputy Governor, Her Excellency, the First Lady, the Chairman of PDP, the Secretary of the State Government, the Honorable Speaker, and the Head of Service, to please come and join us on the stage to flag these programs off and to cut the ribbons. And also, sir, please forgive me, sir.
Okay, our own very great friend, Amaju. We are happy here. Please join His Excellency
and also other programs that are lined up for the inauguration of the second coming of His Excellency Godwin Obaseki. And I want to believe that some of us have seen the governor having an interactive section with some of the youths of Edo State, regardless of their party lines. Now, he has touched on a lot of issues, and he's been able to answer a few questions. So I want to bring on one or two people to fill their pause to see what they have been able to take away from this session that the governor had with Edo youths. So I'm taking Asenogwa Prince. Would you like to join me? My name is Habiba Oyege Oyarekwa. Welcome to the program, my prince.
Welcome.
Thank you
very much.
Now, I want to believe that you heard what the governor was saying. He touched on a lot of issues. He spoke on employment. He spoke on youth empowerment, skill acquisition. So what have you been able to take from that?
No, with the governor's conversation regarding the skills acquisition and others precisely, you find out that he has actually done a lot, and just sincerely, with the platform he has given out to every person, he doesn't need to do it all. There are definitely opportunities like we can't key into without him being there, as long as these platforms have been launched out. And because the platforms have been launched out, definitely a lot. Because what I've seen today, we've seen some beneficiaries coming out to like testify to what they've actually achieved during what he has done in this case acquisition. There are a lot definitely we could actually give up for it. And we will definitely applaud him for all he has done entirely. And yours sincerely, for what I'm saying, I'm sure you're definitely going to do more about it.
Just briefly, another 30 seconds. What have you been so far?
I think for me, like the first person you spoke to said, I think the governor has set a platform that's worthy of emulation across the globe. The youth participation is something that has gone beyond stories. You could see the frankness, you could see the sincerity of his boss, of laying down what he thinks he wants to do in the second term. We've seen what he has done with a job hub, and taking into account of that, we know the second term is going to be a wow for the youth. He has also said he's going to allocate 60% of his cabinet to the youth, and that's where it should start from. It's a drive for us. We're happy he's setting this space again to bring us aboard.
Thank you very much. All right, so we shall now be going back to join Uyo Society and, of course, members of the audience where the summit is still ongoing. Thank you for staying with us. Bless you.
The Commissioner for Youth in Edo State. Can you put your hands together for our whole Commissioner Youth?
Once again, we are in the Tradition and Youth Summit. Every year we publish the job creation achievements of the state government. And this year we're actually looking at the first agenda, the first term, and the book is called How We Did It, the A to Z of job creation in Edo State. But this panel I don't think is complete because many people work on job creation in Edo State. So I'd like to invite the focal person for SIP, Osayuwame Aladeshelu, to join us. Please let's put our hands together for her.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's quickly witness this book launch stroke presentation. Yes.
On behalf of Edo State Government, we launch E to Z job creation in Edo State.
Wow, this is beautiful. The A to Z of job creation in Edo State, 2016 to 2020. And of course, this government has since surpassed over 180,000 jobs for Edo people. Thank you very much. We are going to be quickly taking some presentation of awards before we do call it a day. But before then, I'm sure the governor would love to see that special book, which of course captures all of the job creation efforts of Edo State in the last 4 years. In the history of democracy in modern day Nigeria since 1999 till now, no government in Edo State has created the number of jobs that this government led by Governor Obaseki has created. Can we put our hands together for that? Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And we know that in the next 4 years, a lot will happen. Can we, Your Excellency, pardon me, can we rise up with the books and let's have a very lovely photograph of it? Since you said we should leverage on technology, we want the photographers to give us a quick shot of this and let the world see it in another 2-3 seconds. It's going to go global. This is lovely. I love what I see. I love what I see. I wouldn't mind if you even lift up the books a little bit. Aha! Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. I think this is it. Thank you, Your Excellency. Okay, I'm sure the awards will be presented now so that we can release His Excellency for the big event tomorrow. By the grace of God, His Excellency will be sworn in for his second term tomorrow. November 12th. For Alaghodaro 2020. Okay, please can you come forward? Let's present the awards. Now, it's going to be another 4 years of exploits by this government. We know. Another 4 years of immense blessings for the youths of Edo State, opportunities for the youths of Edo State. I tell you, Her Excellency, the First Lady, is very passionate about the cause of the youths. And we know what she has done on the ground, using our network of friends and connections across the world and Nigeria to ensure that youths of Edo State will have access to such loans to support them do their business. I'm very privileged to this. Can we celebrate our First Lady, our mother? Thank you. And we know you will do more in the 4 years that is ahead of us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Please, I'd like to invite the Honorable Commissioner for Youth, sir, to please join me here in presenting these awards. Now, and the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation, please. These awards, we give them out every year, recognizing different groups of people. And, recognizing different groups of people that have done amazing work in our job creation drive. So the categories for the award are the most supportive local government, because as Edo Jobs, before we go, we work in every local government in Edo State and in various communities. But before we go there, we need to work with the local government chairman and then to help us in setting up the programs in our follow-up activities. And we are awarding the local government chairman that has been the most supportive in 2020. The next category is the most dedicated liaison officer. So for us to do our work, remember I said every ministry in Edo State government is part of the job creation drive. So every ministry has an Edo Jobs liaison officer who gives us information about what they are doing, and we also give them information. Now we are going to be giving the most dedicated liaison officer in all the among all the ministries, departments, and agencies an award today. We also have the best intern, based on the assessment from the employers, the best intern in 2020. So I'm just going to call for the recipients of these 3 awards to come on stage. I will do the first one because I'm quite excited. The most supportive local government chairman this year is the same person that won it last year. So please let's put our hands together for Honorable Frank Ilaboya, Owa West Local Government Area. Please come forward, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we will need more of this support so that you can win again next year. All right, all right. Congratulations, Chair. Can you play that music? Not necessarily party after party. After the event, will be party.
On behalf of Edo Job, we present to you this award for 2020 as the outstanding chairman for job creation in your local government. Congratulations.
And the next award is for the most dedicated liaison officer. And the recipient is Adeniji Adewumi Benjamin of C4.
Information about the jobs that their agencies are also creating, so that it goes into the job report. So I don't mean the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation will present this.
Award in recognition presented to Adeniji Adewumi in recognition of being the most dedicated MDA liaison officer. Congratulations.
The next award is for Best Intern under the Edo Jobs Internship Apprenticeship Scheme. Justina Osaibovo. Justina, please. The next category, the highest recruitment carried out for an organization in the year 2020. And the award goes to Union Diagnostics and Clinical Services PLC. Mr. Linus Ikiri. Please come on, please.
Justina Osaibobo, in recognition for being the best intern under the Edo Job Internship Scheme, we present this award to you to further encourage you to keep doing what you are doing and do it for the service of humanity. Congratulations.
This particular award has two recipients. This category has to do with organizations who gave us vacancies, we recruited and they employed Edo jobbers. So in this category, the second recipient is Edo Specialist Hospital.
Interestingly, the two highest
recognition for being the highest recruitment carried out for an organization in 2020. The Edo Job found it worthy to present this to you to further encourage you. Congratulations.
Two highest recruiters from Edo Jobs were in the medical space. One private, one... All right.
In recognition for being the highest recruitment carried out for an organization in 2020, the Edo Job found it worthy to present this to you to further encourage you to employ more youth in Edo State. Congratulations.
Please, let's put our hands together for them. They're the ones employing people for us. Thank you. Okay, this is Edo Specialist Hospital.
Edo Specialist Hospital.
Yes, sir. The first one was Union Diagnostic, and this is Edo Specialist
Hospital. The first one was Union Diagnostic, Edo Specialist Hospital, our own very Edo State Specialist Hospital.
Oh yes, isn't that wonderful? Yes, okay.
We are still live at the venue of the fourth edition of Alaghodaro and also the Edo Youth Summit. I'm going to be chatting with Vivian Umunero. She's from Delta State but resides in Edo State. Vivian, please come on. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a caterer and I'm also a makeup artist.
So you left Delta State to come do business in Edo State?
Yes, I heard of Edo job. That was the reason why I'm here, and they've helped me a lot. I'm one of their beneficiary.
And how has it been so far?
It has been so good, and it has changed my life. Because I have passion for makeup, I could not do, but through the Edo job, I think I'm very happy with what I'm doing now.
And what about the governor's relationship with the Edo youths?
The governor's relationship with the Edo youths, I think he's doing well. He's giving us more confidence to become a better person in life. So I appreciate the governor for what he's doing.
You are from Delta State?
Yes, I'm
and
from
you are
Delta
enjoying
State.
the dividends of democracy in Edo State?
Yes, very well.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. All right, we have another lady joining us. Madam, good morning and welcome. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Your name, please.
My name is Daramola Jumoke.
Jumoke Daramola.
Yes, Dadani.
Sheshenlo.
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Dada.
So where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Ondo State.
Look at that.
Yeah.
First we had somebody from Delta State. Now one of our neighboring states, Ondo State, Jumoke. So what are you doing in Edo State?
Yeah, presently I'm actually doing business. I'm into business, and I'm still searching for profitable employment, employability. Thank you.
So how did you hear about this summit?
Got to hear through the office of the NSIP focal person at the state. She invited me.
Have you had any relationship with them previously?
Of course, I do.
What was it? What was the relationship?
As a national program I do via their office.
So what do you really do for a living?
Presently, I'm managing an office, national cash transfer office in Edo State. Presently, that's why I manage. That's why I manage.
And would you say that has impacted your life positively?
Yes, I will tell you that, because it's helping me in a lot of ways. Via that particular program, I'm able to achieve a lot of knowledge, experiences, which has really increased my level of my experience. That has increased my experience level, and also it has also helped me to get into a new level of a new better understanding of what that particular unit is up to.
Now, what would you say about Mr. Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, and of course he's tilting more towards the youth?
Yeah, I thought the governor of Edo State is actually a good. I tell you, is one of the best governors in Nigeria, because he doesn't see people, doesn't look at you as if you're an indigent or none. He relates with everybody equally. I just made mention of a program which I'm into presently, and that particular program, if it's a governor that is like, you must be an indigent of Edo State, I wouldn't have been able to be in that particular program. But because he doesn't look at it that way, he believes in we are all equal. So he gives everybody equal opportunity. So I give him a kudos. I tell him he's a good man, he's a good governor, and we look up to him. We want to be like him when we grow up.
Oshidia.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Where you have heard it, you can see that wherever you are from, the north, the south, the east, or the west, we are living the dream of really being the heartbeat of the nation, Edo State. Why? Because we have a seamless, symbiotic relationship with everybody. Wherever you are from does not matter. And that is what our governor, Godwin Obaseki, is really doing. We'll take you back to the venue now so that you can enjoy more of the program. Thank you for
watching. Oral polio vaccine immunization to children under 5 years, contact tracing for Lassa fever and data manager for COVID-19 mobile screening centers, and she is a mobilizer of personnel to ensure the success of whatever she's. Please put your hands together for S.A. Ogala. Next, Osamu Ibello, N committee category. He started an adult education center where he was posted to.
S.A. Mary Jean Ogari, congratulations for this award from Edo Job. Congrats.
Exciting. Empower.
Courtesy Empower, please. Empower. Jobs are everywhere. Edo Job, Empower, Eva. If you are not getting now, just wait for your own.
We have the NTEACH category, Kenneth Arega, who is in the Western Boys High School, Ikuba, Oha local government area, and he has come highly recommended by the chairperson of the ANCOPS Association. He served as a school exam officer in 2018 and 2019, and he has done a lot of things in his school and taking his school.
Edo SIP presents you this award as the best in technology and beneficiary in recognition of your commitment and outstanding performance. Order and power. Congratulations.
Under the NAGRO category, we have Nosaige Rostin Otame. He has coordinated the NAGRO beneficiaries to lead local farmers, and he personally led the NAGRO beneficiaries to celebrate the World Food Day in Edo State 2018 and 2019, where they contributed from their stipends to give farmers inputs and farm tools. Nosaige Otame.
Kenneth Erega as the best and technical beneficiary in recognition of your commitment and outstanding performance under the Empower program for job creation. Congratulations.
So Nosage.
Nosage Atemari, best agro beneficiary, strong farmer in recognition of your outstanding performance and leadership in farming and producing food for the Edo people and Nigeria. Empower found you worthy for this award. Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Youth. Thank you very much. Now, Your Excellency, we know that it is a day dedicated solely for the youths, the Edo Youth Summit. Right now, we want the youth to really have that sense of belonging that they've always had. We're going to allow, first of all, can we take that goodwill message from GIZ if it's ready now? Can we have it? And then after that, the governor and the deputy governor, the first lady, and they will just move from table to table and really interact with these youths one-on-one, so that you know what they are doing now.
Your Excellency, Governor Baseki, honorable cabinet members, heads of agencies, representatives of organizations, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored having been asked to provide a opening message for the first edition of the Igiehon Summit. It is my utmost pleasure to first of all congratulate His Excellency the Governor on his inauguration in the office, and to also provide you an update of GIZ Sky initiatives in Edo State. GIZ Sky is the skills development for youth employment program. I would like to highlight some of our ongoing and planned initiatives on employment promotion, which are focused on upskilling and empowering young people in Edo State to get integrated into the labor market. Namely, the Edo Jobs Internship and Apprenticeship Program is 3 months internship for 450 beneficiaries from Edo State. At the end of the program, employers will be expected to Wish for Growth program planned to kick off in the first quarter of 2021, which will run for 3 to 4 months and is targeting around 400 beneficiaries. The focus is on construction and rehabilitation projects in collaboration with Edo State government. Furthermore, we are planning to conduct with different partners a job fair, which will combine the features of both a physical job fair and a virtual job fair. This is to allow for many job seekers to join the job fair to interact with potential employers. We will start on 16th of November implementing a leather training, which is supporting 100 beneficiaries in the production of leather goods over a period of 3 months. Furthermore, we will develop a e-learning pilot training on leather goods. We are supporting our partner organization Edo Jobs in the establishment of job centers. The first main activity here will be a workshop on how to design a job center, which will start by early December. The GIZ Style program is advising its partner Edo Jobs in the establishment of a labor market information system based on the current job portal. Furthermore, we are assisting Edo Jobs and the Edo State government in the design of public employment services. As a basis, we are currently conducting a labor market and employment analysis in Edo State, which will provide relevant information for policy recommendation and decisions on employment promotion. I would also like to commend the Edo State Skills Development Agency, Edo Jobs, under the tutelage of His Excellency, the Governor, for the immense support and commitment to the development and empowerment of youth in Edo State. For the first edition of the Edo Youth Summit, I herewith wish you all success. Thank you.
Can we put our hands together for GIZ, a major supporter for this job creation initiative? Thank you very much. While His Excellency will go around now with his team, particularly the Deputy Governor and the First Lady, to interact one-on-one with these youths, we would also want our friend, Amaju Pinnick, to come and give his guru message, because a lot is being done in the area of youth and sports development in Edo State. Please come up stage, sir. Thank you. Is that all you can do for the NSF chairman? I know you will tell us how many surprises are already.
His Excellency, if I say you are digital, it's an understatement. If I also say you are creative, it's also an understatement. If I say you are dynamic, it's also an understatement. If I say you are indefatigable, what certainly captures is that you are a child of God. If you go to the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, if you check for the word loyalty, the only example you will see there is Philishaibu. That's what captures it. This is like giving a vote of thanks. It's not necessarily like saying that I'm coming to give any remarks. I'll just tell you 3 aspects of my stories and see whether it will inspire you. The Deputy Governor and I were born on the same date, 1st December, but he's like a year older than me. I'll be 50 on the 1st of December, that's another 2 weeks from today. So we are gifted children of God. And we are rugged. Well, what I want to say clearly is that growing up, 3 things happened. I'm going to be very brief, but I hope it inspires you. For me, from one remote village to be the president of Nigerian Football Federation, well, I know it's not a small thing. When I 12. Today, exactly 1982, my dad had just come back from England. He was sick, he was looking frail. So I walked up to my mom. I was just going to be